Right now, it appears to be the end of an era in Green Bay as Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers announces his intentions to play in New York, what it means for the green and gold next season.
Plus, with Rodgers moving on from the team, we're live at Lambeau Field with how fans are reacting to the news. Welcome to News 3 now at 6.
I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Well, after weeks of discussion and speculation, we now have an answer to what Aaron Rodgers wants to do next season. Earlier today on the Pat McAfee Show, the future Hall of Fame quarterback announced he intends to play for the New York Jets.
But so far, no deal between Green Bay and New York has been reached. Now, as for the Packers, it appears they will now turn to Jordan Love to lead the green and gold. For more, let's go to sports director Zach Hanley. Zach?
Yeah, it's never easy to replace a Hall of Famer. Just ask Aaron Rodgers when he got the nod from the franchise after Brett Favre went to the Jets. Now it appears to be Jordan Love's turn to be the Packers' QB1. Selected in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, Love hasn't really seen the field. He has one start under his belt, a loss against the Chiefs, but he did turn some heads last season in his 10 snaps against the Eagles. Now the sample size is small, but Rodgers knows it's time for him to start and believes Love is ready.
We just got to look at the reality. They want to move on. They don't want me to come back, and that's fine. They're ready to move on with Jordan. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jordan's going to be a great player. He's a great kid. He had a really good year this year, getting better, on the look team. He's got a bright future in front of him. They got a good young team.
Now, there's a reason you draft a quarterback in the first round, because you want him to play. But again, the sample size is small, so we don't really know. And then there's that word intend from Rodgers, because the deal isn't done.
Yeah, there's still some work to be done in terms of what compensation the Packers get, and maybe they rework Aaron's deal so it's a little more favorable to the Packers.
Cap friendly too.
Right.
And then you got to see if Love's the guy.
So that's the wait right now before we get it officially from the Packers as they finalize.
Yeah, 6 weeks to the draft too, so time's ticking.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, she's all worried about salary cap numbers. She's always talking salary cap. So we'll see. It's going to be a crazy offseason, though, that's for sure. All right, Zach, thank you.
So all that love, haters, something in between for Rodgers is the story for Wisconsin today.
But for one person, it's something a little bit more. Only on News 3 Now, our Andrew Banstra actually went up to Green Bay today to talk to an old friend of Aaron Rodgers who got a shout-out from the quarterback today. Andrew?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, when I drove up to Lambeau Field this morning, I expected to hear a lot of mixed emotions from Packers fans. What I didn't expect to hear was from a man whose story with Rodgers is one of promises made, promises kept.
Rob Fairman has seen a lot of people walk through the door of his frame shop, Frame Makers, in a strip mall 2 blocks down the road from Lambeau Field.
We've known him since he was a rookie. He's been coming in since then.
Some customers become friends, some are both. One is Aaron Rodgers.
I love my boy Rob at Frame Makers. I love so many people in that town.
Rob serves several Packer players like Rodgers who get their jerseys framed here.
It's really been an honor to be his friend, to be honest with you. And to be considered his friend is crazy for me.
Rob says he once joked to Rodgers that when he retires, he wants a shout-out. He was shocked when Rodgers kept his word.
I think the impact that he has had on this town, both financially and the things that he does for this town that people don't even know about, it's going to be felt. It can't help but be felt.
Go, Pack, go!
Not everyone feels quite like Rob, though. For some, it feels like a breakup, and one they've had before.
I think I had more of a hard time giving up Brett Favre than I did right now with Aaron Rodgers, because it's just been such a drama. So, I'm ready for a change.
And now some fans are ready to open their hearts for Jordan Love.
Somebody new and fresh and just give us something that we haven't had in Green Bay yet.
But no matter what people think of the 4-time MVP, there's no questioning he's left his signature at Lambeau Field.
He's going to be missed, I'll tell you that much. In this shop, he's going to be missed because he's just a great guy.
To perfectly sum up how Green Bay feels, we asked somebody in the pro shop if the Aaron Rodgers jerseys are going on sale anytime soon. They emphatically said no. He's an icon. At Lambeau Field, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And for more coverage on Aaron Rodgers, head to channel3000.com, and there you'll find more on his opinion of Jordan Love and a timeline on the Rodgers legacy as a Green Bay Packer. You can also take a poll on how you felt about Aaron Rodgers wanting to play for the New York Jets.
All right, let's now check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Start out today with a little sunshine. Now we've got clouds overhead, but it's not a thick cloud cover, and temperatures are milder than they were at this time yesterday. Take a look at visible cloud track. You can see those clouds coming in from the west, but the thicker clouds that are producing precipitation are still up in North Dakota and northern portions of Minnesota. Some light snow up there, a few sprinkles of rain between the Twin Cities and Duluth and Superior, heading up toward north central Wisconsin, but south central Wisconsin right now free of precipitation. Current temperatures, pretty mild. Still 50 in Janesville, 47 in Madison, 49 Lone Rock, 51 right now in Prairie du Chien and in Boscobel. A little colder to the north and east, 42 right now in Fond du Lac and 37 in Sheboygan. But here in Dane County, still 50 degrees in Edgerton, 43 in Perry, 46 in Belleville, and 46 degrees in Waunakee. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy this evening, but we should be dry. Temperatures will drop off to about 42 by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes some rain and then some snow. Will there be any accumulation? I'll have that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Today is the last day Wisconsinites can register to vote online or by mail in the upcoming April election. If you missed out, don't worry. There are still plenty of options if you want to vote. In-person registration will still be available at absentee voting locations around Madison until Friday before the April 4th election. Voters can also register to vote in person at their polling place on Election Day under Wisconsin law. Anyone looking to see a sample of what their ballot will look like can do so online at myvote.wi.gov.
We could be looking at a dramatic change to the state's abortion law under a new proposal introduced at the Capitol today. Right now, abortions are only allowed to save the life of a mother, but some Republicans want to add exceptions for rape and incest. Political reporter Will Keneally is at the Capitol and has the details.
Republicans have not made many moves to pare down the state's abortion law since the Dobbs decision last summer, but the timing here now could play a key role.
Because the idea is that we want to make the need for abortion rare.
But Republicans are conceding there are instances when abortion could be needed in cases of rape or incest. A new bill would allow for that in the first trimester.
But I think part of this is also hoping that Democrats are willing to work with us on this update.
But Democrats are largely not behind the proposal. Anything less than fully repealing the narrowly tailored abortion ban, and they aren't on board.
Democrats are committed to restoring people's rights and restoring the rights we had under Roe v. Wade. This is a cynical, fake attempt to try to manipulate voters.
Madison Senator Kelda Roys is looking ahead to this April. Wisconsin has a Supreme Court election which could decide abortion policy in the state, depending on which candidate wins.
When the heat starts getting too hot from voters, he throws out these little lies to see who picks up on it.
What we have here are people of goodwill saying here is something that Republicans could move on to be able to update the statute and make sure that we have a better defined understanding of when a woman's life would be saved.
We also don't know that this bill has universal Republican support. In just the last few hours, the state Senate leader says that he will not bring this bill to his chamber. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
With March Madness beginning tomorrow, we have a programming alert for you. Due to the games Thursday and Friday, News 3 Now at noon will be airing live on Television Wisconsin. That's Channel 3.2 over air and Channel 14 on Charter. News 3 Now at 6 will air at 5:30 right after News 3 Now at 5, preempting the CBS Evening News. Finally, News 3 Now at 10 will air after the last NCAA game on CBS at right around 11 p.m. Coming up, after nearly a decade of operating a bike share within the Madison city limits, find out where B-Cycle is now expanding to.
And first responders from across the state are asking for help from lawmakers. What they say is their top priority. That's next.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Take a break from furniture frustration. It's spring break at Bob's Discount Furniture. I'm making it super easy to shop my top-rated products, like my Avenger and Forte collections. Both have power reclining Bobapedic seats, USB ports, a drop-down table in the sofa, luxurious upholstery, and a storage console in the love seat. Just $9.99 each. And the reviews are flying in with 2,500 and counting. So check out the Avenger and Forte Motion collections at Bob's Discount Furniture.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Two candidates for Supreme Court, two very different beliefs. Judge Janet Protasewicz, she believes women should have the freedom to make their own decisions on abortion. Extremist Dan Kelly, he supports the 1849 law that takes away women's rights and criminalizes abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and health of the mother. So who represents you? An extremist or a common sense judge? Vote by April 4th.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Madison B-Cycle electric bikes are back out in the city today. The bikes started in Madison and then expanded to Monona and McFarland. B-Cycle announced it's expanding again, this time bringing the e-bikes to Fitchburg. Thanks to the Department of Transportation, B-Cycle is opening 20 new stations.
It's a sign of spring. I think people get really excited to see the B-Cycles out. It really means that summer is slowly on its way. Today we'll probably see about 300 trips, so even in the cold weather, people still ride.
Madison B-Cycle is also rolling out updates to its current pass options. The cost of a monthly pass will be reduced from $30 to $25 per month, and the cost of an annual pass, which gives riders access to unlimited 90-minute trips for a year, will increase to $150.
The Wisconsin Fire and EMS Coalition holding a lobby day at the state capitol. Over 150 firefighters and EMS providers from over 80 Senate and Assembly districts met with elected officials to discuss issues affecting their ability to serve their communities. The primary focus, an increase in municipal aid so departments are adequately funded.
For far too long, shared revenue and money back to municipalities has been stagnant. It hasn't grown with inflation. It hasn't gone with the consumer price index. And we're not able to actually have the funding to do our jobs appropriately. And when we're not safe, if we can't do our jobs adequately, then in turn the community is not safe.
Well, Mitchell says the public can help by calling their state representatives and elected officials. After the break, March Madness, less than 24 hours away. Think your bracket is better than ours? Well, you can put it to the test.
Also, students at West Madison High School are getting the chance to hear from Madison mayoral candidates on their plans for the city.
Man, could we see snow tomorrow night? The complete forecast when we come back.
Sexual assault of an 11-year-old. No prison time. He raped a military veteran, left her for dead. Just 2.5 years. Raped a mentally disabled 14-year-old. Probation. How the heck did this happen? Janet Protasewicz.
If you could go back in time, would you have ruled any differently? I would say no.
Really? No time in prison?
I would say no.
Protasewicz set violent criminals free. Again and again. Tell Judge Protasewicz, stop protecting criminals.
You've got this. 10 days, 2 kids, and the open road. Tourist traps? Set. Souvenir allowances? Dispersed. Juice boxes? Abundant. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you, with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when must-see attractions become must-pay with cash adventures, we've got you.
Mom, why is the front door open?
You've got this with Associated Bank.
How did Richard Bong shoot down 40 planes in World War II? He said he got so close, he couldn't miss. Learn about Richard Bong, World War II, the Vietnam and Korean Wars, right here in Superior.
happy-go-lucky sale is going on now. Start with store-wide savings of 40% off the area's largest selection of in-stock furniture, mattresses, and more. Always at the guaranteed lowest prices. Plus, with Steinhaffel's 72-month financing, your new furniture just got a lot more affordable. It's the happy-go-lucky sale at Steinhaffel's. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Dan Kelly is extremely corrupt. 6 times Kelly ruled in favor of a plaintiff with close ties. He was on their advisory panel. He took contributions from their board. And all 6 times, Kelly ruled in their favor. Another time, Kelly changed his mind about whether to judge the Zignego case after pocketing $20,000 in contributions from the Zignego family. Corruption, extremism, that's Dan Kelly.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Still in high school and holding local leaders accountable, students at Madison West took charge of a Madison mayoral debate this afternoon. Tahlil Mohadeen has the story.
Less than 3 weeks away from the mayoral election.
Well, really, we're saying yes to as many debates as we possibly can.
But for the candidates, this one stands out.
Go Regents, you guys are the only high school doing this. Well done.
To hear the voices of young leaders in our city is so important to me.
In an auditorium full of students, many of them not yet eligible to vote, sophomore Aiden Olson, as moderator, is running the show.
How will you prevent unintentional or not redlining in the future?
Olson is a founding member of Sifting and Winnowing, a student-run club working to increase civic engagement among their peers.
I really want to encourage that.
This debate,
That's the direction we needed to go.
is their latest effort.
Clear that my opponent doesn't like me, that's not surprising.
My goal is just to inform, I think that at the end of the day is the most important thing. That's what this debate is for. It's not to win any political points for any of the candidates.
And if you think being young and in high school means they'll be going easy on the candidates...
Oh, gosh, no. No, I actually expect these questions will be harder than most of the forums.
They're always tough. That's what I like about it.
They're covering everything from housing, SROs, and mental health.
These are significant issues that are impacting themselves and their families.
And while most can't yet vote, they're taking notes for the future. In Madison, Tahlil Mohadeen, News 3 Now.
Students also held a debate for school board candidates earlier in the day. Both debates have been in the works since December.
News 3 Now and the Cap Times are partnering to host a debate between the 2 candidates for Madison mayor that will air the week before Election Day. The debate between Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and challenger Gloria Reyes will stream live on channel3000.com and captimes.com, as well as social media platforms for News 3 Now and the Cap Times, starting at 7 p.m. on Monday, March 27th. The debate will re-air on WISC-TV at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, March 28th, preempting News 3 Now live at 4. And the following week, the 2 Supreme Court candidates will meet in their only debate of this campaign next Tuesday. Sponsored by News 3 Now, the State Bar, and WISC Politics, the debate will air at 4 p.m., preempting live at 4. Well, we could be in for some wet weather tomorrow. Here's Gary with your complete forecast.
Well, the question is rain or snow? Well, tomorrow it's an easy answer, and 3 things you need to know. It'll be rain with high temperatures in the middle 40s, so another mild day. But that rain will mix with and change the snow Thursday night. There could be some minor accumulations. We'll have to see. There's a short window of time where the temperatures will get cold enough for snow to stick to the ground before the precipitation moves on out. And then we're looking for windy and cold weather for Friday and Saturday. In fact, Friday will be very windy. We could see some wind gusts up to 40 or 45 miles per hour, but just some flurries expected for both of those days. Doppler track shows some light snow and rain mixed up in northern Minnesota, and mainly just rain right now in northern Wisconsin and western upper Michigan, but that will become heavy snow later on tomorrow night into Friday. Future track snowfall from the European computer model, less than an inch through much of southern Wisconsin, and this will be in that short time period later tomorrow night. But up to the north, we could see 6 to 12 inches of snow from far northern Wisconsin through the Lake Superior snowbelt areas in through northern and central portions of upper Michigan. In fact, winter storm warnings already in effect for northwestern Wisconsin, winter storm watches eastward into parts of upper Michigan, and winter weather advisories farther to the south and west. Current temperatures, though, a big change. To the south and west, we're seeing temperatures now in the upper 60s and 70s into parts of Nebraska, 50s as far north as Rapid City, South Dakota. But to the north and west, or north and east, temperatures do cool off, mainly in the 30s, but we're not seeing any really cold air on the map other than just north of the U.S.-Canadian border. Some of that cold air will be pulled southward into the storm system. That's what will change the rain to snow late Thursday night, but it'll be a quick change. In fact, as we take a look at weather track right now, our upper level winds have become a little more westerly and eventually will become southwesterly, keeping our temperatures mild through tomorrow. But the storm system in the southwestern part of the country will join forces with that cold air starting to drop down, and the storm will kind of blossom as it pushes into the Midwest. But the bulk of the heavier precipitation in the form of snow will stay up to the north near Lake Superior. Our forecast for tomorrow calls for mostly cloudy skies and mild weather with occasional rain, especially in the afternoon, high temperature at 46. Future track overnight, we'll see perhaps just a chance for a shower overnight. Temperatures, though, dropping only to around 40 degrees by early tomorrow morning. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning, the showers start to break out to our south and west. The afternoon looks pretty rainy. Temperatures, though, middle 40s, so certainly warm enough for rain. But notice the wind shift to the northwest. Those temperatures start to drop, and the rain starts to mix with and change to snow in Minnesota and Iowa. As we head into Thursday night, you can see that changeover starting to take place, but temperatures still mid to upper 30s, so this is not accumulating snow. By the time it gets cold enough for these temperatures to get down to around freezing and snow to accumulate, the bulk of the snow starts heading to the north and east. So areas north of Madison could see a quick inch or two of snow accumulation, and then everything moves on out. As far as rainfall is concerned, probably about a half inch of rain from Madison to the north and west, and snowfall amounts less than an inch, although a few places could be up around 1 or 2 inches north of Dane County. Our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast, cold through the weekend, or at least the first part of the weekend. We start warming up on Sunday, dry for the first part of next week, and then later next week, mainly rain with high temperatures in the lower 50s.
With March Madness right around the corner, many of you are probably filling out those office brackets.
Well, that's no exception for those of us here at News 3 Now. Anchor teams from the morning show, live at 4 and News 3 Now at 10 are all shooting for bragging rights to claim that we know which teams will make it to the Final Four. We'll see what happens in the bracket challenge tonight at 10. And then join our bracket battle at channel3000.com to see how well you can do against all of us self-proclaimed experts. Zach?
I really am an expert. Coming up in sports, 18 years with the Packers, we look back at some of Aaron Rodgers' best moments in the green and gold. That's next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
It's Stop the Madness month. If your energy bills are too high, stop the madness. If your comfort is out of balance and you go straight from heat to AC, stop the madness. If you've had it with outside noise, stop the madness. Get insulated now and save up to $2,000 with the energy tax credit plus our madness discount. But the clock runs out at the end of the month, so call today.
USA Insulation.
If you've had a classic Reuben before, then Arby's Reuben will taste quite familiar. But if you haven't, man, oh man, are you in for a wild ride. Arby's, we have the meats.
Remember this, and the false selector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. We know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box, we're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
It's a bracket battle as our News 3 Now anchors compete for the best tournament picks. Find out whose brackets get busted and who has that one shining moment. Join in the bracket battle at channel3000.com and watch when our anchors reveal their picks Wednesday on News 3 Now at 10.
When he's done playing in the NFL, whenever that may be, Aaron Rodgers will go down as one of the best to ever do it. And with number 12 leaving little doubt after today that his days in Titletown are over, we take a look back at his legacy with the Packers.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California.
There you go.
Good for him.
Since his draft day in 2005, Aaron Rodgers was motivated to prove people wrong.
Hey, you know what? Good for the Packers and good for him.
Yeah. How disappointed are you that you will not be a 49er?
Not as disappointed as the 49ers will be that they didn't draft me.
After 3 seasons sitting behind Brett Favre, Rodgers got his chance when he was handed the keys to the franchise in 2008. And he passed his first test as Green Bay's starting quarterback with a 24-19 win over Minnesota. 2 seasons later, number 12 took the Packers on a road trip in the playoffs, making stops in Philadelphia to eliminate the Eagles, Atlanta to fly by the Falcons, and Chicago to beat the Bears.
The Green Bay Packers beat their rival, and off to the Super Bowl they go.
His final stop, Super Bowl 45 in Dallas, where Rodgers led the Packers over the Steelers.
The final snap of Super Bowl 45. The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl
and brought the Lombardi Trophy back to Titletown. But he was never able to make it back. Rodgers came up short in 4 straight NFC Championship games, most notably in 2014 when the Packers blew a 12-point lead late in the 4th quarter against the Seahawks and lost in overtime.
Rodgers in trouble.
He did have a knack for the Hail Mary.
He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in him? In the end zone, it is caught for the win!
And owning the Bears.
Rodgers is inside the pylon. Touchdown Packers!
Right on cue, Joe.
And no matter his team's record, he never lost confidence.
I feel like we can run the table. I really do.
In his 18 seasons in Green Bay, Rodgers was an 8-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time NFL MVP,
Aaron Rodgers,
and a Super Bowl champ. He leaves as the franchise's all-time leader in touchdown passes with 475. And his legacy will live on in Lambeau as one of the greatest to ever play in the NFL.
We'll have more coverage on Aaron Rodgers as more details become available. Stay with Channel 3000 and News 3 Now for the very latest.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.